Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm guessing if you're looking at watching this, then you watch the original one. If you haven't already seen it, then all you've got to do is go onto my channel, because there'll only be one other video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. That's me back now. What I'm going to be doing this episode, if you will, is I'm going to show you quickly what I've been up to, because I should have really documented this. I piped all of the intercooler and radiator up, but it was one of them where I just kind of got into it, and before I knew it, I'd kind of done it. So that's I'll quickly run over that, and also just show you what I'm going to be doing prep wise for it going up to the exhaust doctor tomorrow to get its full exhaust system on. So here she is in all of her glory, with her intercooler set up now, all plumbed in. And it is looking awesome. Really happy, and it went together really well actually. I managed to use some of the original piping that I had. That's an original pipe from the VXR setup, and this is also original pipe. This was part of the kit that the guy sent up from Radtech, and this has now basically I've just put this together so I know that it's all going to fit. What I want to do is actually make this all one with just a 45. So this is 2-inch coming into 2.5 inch. So, well, sorry, this is 2-inch coming into 2.5 inch, but I want to have here 2-inch coming into 2.5 inch silicone hose, and then this all be metal. I think that's the way to go with it, so I want to get that made up at some point. And the rest, the bottom one, that was fine, going back from the turbo to the bottom of the intercooler. That was a good setup, so everything is in place. Also put my Imperial turbo coolant hose on, so that fits lovely. And yeah, everything's great. It's that is all good to go. Everything went back together really smoothly, so I'm really happy with that. And ooh, what's this? This is my next side of the project, the VXR Corsa D Seats. I've always loved the Recaros that are in the RS3s, RS4s. Always admired them seats, and the fact that these aren't a million miles away from them and I can get them into my Nova is just like, yes, it's happening. So I was in two minds whether to keep the leather and go down, well, what I want to do in an ideal world is get the GSI material and get this retrimmed in that, but to find the GSI material is proving to be hard. So I think for now I'm just going to go with these and get a bench seat for the back and get it retrimmed to suit. Probably not with the VXR Racing, and probably just black with the red stitching. And I've also got a VXR gear knob there off the Astra. That's the GTC, so I'm going to install that as well. And I've also got a really nice steering wheel coming off a VX220, which I got for a really good price off Facebook Marketplace, which was awesome, because they're asking, like, for a good one on eBay, they're asking like 700 quid, which is just crazy, but that's eBay for you. So yeah, that's good. With these, I'm looking to, because they sit so high, and they do sit really high in the Nova, they look a bit comically high if I'm honest, look to doing something with the floor, if I can notch out the floor pan at all to get these a bit lower. There's also some runners that I've found, some ultra low runners. I don't know whether I can replate the floor and put it onto runners that way. So I've already taken them off the original runners. They're just there. They're quite bulky them, so we'll see. I mean, I'm sure guys who put them on before probably butchered a set of Nova seats and used the Nova frame to put it into, which I don't want to really touch the GSI seats at all, which you can imagine why. I mean, just the price of them, and also if I do want to ever go back to the original interior, you know, I mean, so that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to put that material on them seats in the middle, and then have the grey velour, and then I wouldn't have to mess around with the door cards or the back seats. But like everything, it's just, you know, these cars are over 30 years old now. It's finding finding the material. Somebody might have some on a shelf somewhere, but I've asked a couple of upholsterers so far and it's been a no-go. So what you're gonna do? So another one of my little projects is my GSI badge that I mentioned in the last video. So that does sit on like so. Now the lad who made it for me, he put these in there so I could run cable ties through, which is great and it works, but sadly the way that these are angled, when it sits, when you come up on it, it raises it, and I want it to sit bang in the middle. So I tried a load of different things, including like, you know, like a bit of wire and stuff, which it's no good really because it could easily be ripped off. Not saying that the clips couldn't rip out, but what I'm going to do is, because the original one sits on an angle like so, what I've done is I've cut an old one in half, so I know that them clips fit perfect in there. And what I'm going to have to do is make a little bit of a recess in here so that sits flush in there, and then I'll bond that together, and then I'll get my perfect fit on there. So I mean, that's the fun part about modifying, I think, when you're just doing little odd jobs like that, just to make it my own, you know. While I'm out here, actually, I'll show you that some other parts that I've got for the exhaust: a nice new V-band clamp, some bracket mountings, some rubber mountings, sorry. They're from Flowflex. You get them on eBay. And that's also, I bought that in mistake. I thought that was actually that, in terms of I could give that to the guy for making up the 3-inch downpipe, but it's not. These actually are a 102 fitment, which are quite hard to find in like flange, like in a flange, if you will. So that has just had to be. I just thought I'd buy a new one because the other one, it's quite rounded. It's been on and off a million times, so I'll just try to do a new one. So I'm gonna mess around with this week, and when I get the car back, I'll get that on and get the bumper back on and everything, and it'll be looking awesome. I was also looking at doing something with the oil cooler, purely because where I have it now mounted here, that was at the time, the kit that I bought was for an Astra VXR, so the way that the pipes that they'd sent me and such, I could only get it to fit. That was as far forward I could get it from where it's connected. I'm looking at obviously maybe getting some new pipes made up, and previously the radiator used to sit here, and then I had the intercooler sitting out here, so there is definitely space here to put this intercooler now, because sorry, the oil cooler. So that is another thing to look at, definitely, is maybe chop this little bit out here, strengthen it, and bring the oil cooler from the bottom here up. But I mean, I don't know if it's doing its job there, to be honest with you. It was actually one of them that I bought it. It wasn't cheap. It sat in the box for a while. I couldn't return it, and then it was kind of like, well, I better use it. So that was why it got stuck there. So like I say, guys, tomorrow I'm going to be taking this up to Shire at the exhaust doctor, and we'll be doing the exhaust. Oh, I'll be dropping it off, they'll be doing the exhaust. Hopefully they'll take some pictures for me so I can upload them as it goes. But yeah, look at that, how good's that? That is sexual, if I do say so myself. So, lock and loaded by STL Recoveries. Off to the exhaust doctor we go. That's a car dropped off there at the exhaust doctor, so hopefully in the next week I'll be getting the car back with that 3-inch downpipe exhaust, and also he's going to look at doing that pipe that I was on about, where I've connected all into one. Said if he's got enough time, then he'll get that done for me as well, so that's really exciting news. So there she is, and hopefully in the next week I'll see her with a new 3-inch exhaust on. exciting times. Okay, so now that the car's away getting its work done, the only other real thing I can get on with is my little badge that I said I was going to make the clip out of. So I'm going to start prepping that and crack on. Also, I was just going to say, check out my Nevlock t-shirt that I got given. That was from Jordan at Nevlock when I ordered a shitload of stuff. Over £1,000 worth of stuff for the engine, but they threw in a t-shirt, so everyone loves a free t-shirt, don't they? It kind of always sweetens the deal. Free t-shirt for the win. Anyway, so I'm gonna crack on with the badge. So I've now marked out where I need to take out, as you can see, to make my recess, for that to then sit in nice and neat, like so. Okay, now that I've knocked my recess out, now it's time to bond them together, and then we have a badge. And there we have it, lads and lasses. The final product came out really well. I'm glad I thought of that idea, because it was doing my head in the way that it was sitting. Like I say, I have got another one of them here. It was like sitting like that, if you can get my meaning, when you came up on the cable ties. So now that that's sitting lovely where I wanted to do, it just makes it, you know, it's another, makes it mine a little bit more. It's always nice to have your little own touch on things. So, and I'll show you the back. There's the clips there. So it's just like it was an original one. So really good, yeah. Another little job well done, if I do say so myself. Be nice to get this back on the car when we get the car back end of the week with the new exhaust on. Hey guys, just an update on the episode. So basically, originally I was going to have the car back tomorrow and was going to show you the exhaust and everything, and that was going to be the episode. But the people at the lads at the exhaust doctor have got in touch with me and basically said that it's a little bit more trickier than they originally thought, just with the tightness and everything for the downpipe and all that, and they want to get it spot on for me. So they want to take the time, which would be an extra couple of days, which is not a problem, but I'm actually going on holiday on Saturday for 10 days. So what they're going to do is they're going to actually hold the car while I'm away, and they're going to work on it, and for when I get back that'll be done. So I thought that I'd just close out this video now and post it instead of waiting you know, another like almost 2 weeks to do this. So that's where I am with it. So yeah, that's and also they are definitely gonna do that top hat for me, like I said. So that's gonna be awesome. I've dropped off the 45-degree silicone hose for the lads there. It's Rich at the exhaust doctor who's doing that for me. So we spoke about that today at length, and that's just gonna tidy the engine bay up just a little bit more. So I'm happy. I've also been on, when I was mentioning the seats, I've also been on to Lee at Stobbart and Collins, who I get my MOTs done by. He's if you haven't seen him before, you will have. He's done a couple of cool Novas. Adam's had a 1510. He's interviewed him on a couple of his Novas there, and they're if you go and check them out, they're pretty awesome. But I was chatting to him today about doing the seats. He said that there is the obvious put them on the GSI runners, the GSI subframe, or look at doing something else, making something up. So I might get with him at some point and go with that. But for now, I'll just quickly show you. I've got the seats here. So far, I've took them off the runners, so you can see. So I don't know whether I'm going to put a set of runners onto it myself. I have found a guy who makes runners up that, you know, will bolt straight on. Maybe make a bracket for the like a floor pan like template, if you will, to bolt that onto. It's all dependent on what I just want to get it as low as I can. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. More than likely, probably go along the route of putting them on the GSI subframes, if I'm totally honest, because I don't want to start hacking away at the floor. I mean, you know, I said earlier in the video I was maybe going to do, you know, something with the floor pan, but realistically, you know, you don't really want to be hacking away at stuff like that. But we'll see. Like everything, you know, it's a work in progress. So that's where I am with that. That'll be for the next episode when I get back from a holiday and also get the car back. So for now, I'm going to sign off. That's me. If you're liking what you're seeing, then please hit the subscribe button and like the video. And yeah, I'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new one and with the car. So until then, peace out, guys. Cheers.